Can video games help us understand each other better? Hi, I'm Tom, and my research focuses on fostering empathy for video games by using generative AI, such as large language models. Some of my research also involves virtual reality. I want to find out if and how video games can help us empathize more with each other and how to create such games. There's a lot of research on empathy training through video games, especially in the field of psychology and with VR. Usually there is a specific target group that empathy is trained for. In my research, I focus on various marginalized groups such as LGBTQI+ people and Holocaust survivors. There's also a lot of research on generative AI in video games. Especially interesting is the work on dynamic narrative generation. But what do I intend to do? Well, a generalized model of using generative AI in video games can look something like this. We have a video game which contains a narrative. The game is played by a player. In case of a nonlinear narrative, there is also interaction between the player and the narrative. Digital humans are usually represented by NPCs in games, can also be interacted with. And then we add generative AI, such as LLMs, which can now take control of the digital humans and the narrative, thus allowing for much more dynamic reactions to player behavior. The AI gains information about the game state directly from the engine. Now, I want to add empathy into all of this. The model, and thus the game, narrative and digital humans are all optimized to enhance empathy in the player. In my research, I develop a framework that generates game experiences like this. The framework requires minimal input, mostly in text form. Generation is then also supported by generative AI. I create prototypes and test them to see how effectively they foster empathy in players using a mixed methods approach. Of course, there are challenges, technical ones such as latency issues or generative AI misbehaving. There are also ethical concerns regarding accessibility and sustainability. Generative AI is already contentious, and I want to make sure to use it to improve our lives and not make things worse. To address some of these issues, I currently use locally running models instead of APIs. To give me more control, improve sustainability and reduce latency. Not only focusing on VR games will also help accessibility. By using the power of games and generative AI mindfully, we can create experiences that not only entertain, but also drive positive change through empathy and understanding. Thank you very much for watching.